not accepted, but overlooked. And I mean, you see comments like, we see it all online, when people say things like, it seems about white, Oyinbo, unseasoned, white people this, white people that. Are we now becoming the perpetrators of racism towards white people? I mean, is it openly? Because I see it, and
what do you see? Racism towards white people?
Yeah,
just white people.
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Well, I think, I'll be real. I think black people...
I see it towards black people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I don't see it. Of course, you see it often on all different kinds of platforms and levels. I'm only saying that that's not a justification for the racism that white people receive in comments, etc., etc. Sometimes I think we just overlook it. And I think with our, and I definitely think that our history's been indoctrinated, and it's not true. I think slavery is a very minor part within black history, but we're taught it in school. But I think with us understanding racism, possibly we've all experienced it at some point, is us living through it so much, then making it acceptable. It's not then making it acceptable for racism to be directed towards white people.
Starters, I don't think it exists. I don't think black people have the power to be racist to any other nations or anything. I don't think we actually have it in us. We accept everyone as black. As long as you got half of it or quarter of it, you're black, right? There's no other races that you can say is white with a bit of black. It's just straight, you're black. We'll accept Chinese, Indian, white. Come true, man. Come. So how can we be racist? How?
Black people are racist.
People that ain't racist.
Black people are racist, yeah? And I've seen that more within the last 5-6 years maybe. Black people have become more racist towards white people, yeah? Reason being is because white people have been racist to them for how many fucking years? Do you get me? And now black people have got more of a platform to show it, they're bait about it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Where white people they're racist at home. They know they can't be, they can still be racist in a crowd, but if you see one white guy walking down the road, hey, you're black, this, da-da-da-da, he won't bother.
But what's racist?
Do you get what I'm saying?
What we calling racist here?
Racist being fucked up to another colour, innit?
I think...
But everyone's racist, bro. That's the truth.
I think we'll probably...
I'm talking about every race. Every race.
We might be a bit bigotry here and there,
yeah,
but I don't
every race is
racist.
a bit towards another race. 100%, fam.
You lot are just talking about name calling. When I think about racism, yeah, that's against black people, it's systematic injustice, yeah? That's embedded. That means life movements are restricted because of the colour of our skin. There's no white out and say, I've been denied an opportunity because I'm white. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, that is the pinnacle of racism. Name calling and stuff like that. If you've got tough skin, you can get called the N-word, you can get called like black cunt, whatever, and you'll brush it off. You know what I'm saying? But
you're going into the deeper racism.
No, but that is racism.
All right, cool, yeah.
You're not talking about name calling online, yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool, but at the end of the day, it's not stopping their bag. It's not stopping them from progressing in their careers. They don't have, when they live in certain roads, they ain't got to go to certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I live in Epsom, yeah, and we're the only black family on my road, innit? They're not racist, but it's like, it's awkward sometimes, like, you know, that to me is the real barriers, not just name calling. Like, name calling is like...
Yeah, so do you think you're more racist now then?
I wouldn't say towards white people, but I'll leave it at that before I get called.
Exactly.
You get me?
I ain't racist towards white people at all. Like, I've grown up in white areas, black areas, mixed areas. I've travelled, you get me, like a black gypsy, and I've been about. You get me? So I've been chased by NFs deep in the area in Birmingham where there's straight white people. You get me? And then I've been chased by NFs in London, Waltham Cross, outskirts at Enfield back in the day when it was mainly white people there. So I've never ever in my life heard of any white person that had to run out of a black establishment or black area. If anything, we embrace other people a lot. Like we're not actually a fucked up people. Naturally, we're actually warm and loving, bruv. We're just trying to emulate the people that oppressed us. We're not actually racist.
Where they've been suppressed for so long, they just
We'll say,
coming back
you know
with it. You
what?
get what I'm trying to say? That's the only thing.
But do you know what it is? It's more like we will cuss our own people. We'll be like, if in Jamaica, like, I don't mean this. I'm saying, yeah, man. Big Nose COCKNEY. Your name's Big. What's your name? My name's Big Nose. You be calling yourself your nickname. You be calling yourself the name that they use you to mock. You get me? And then like Big Head Andre. That's what they calling me. Oh yeah, Big Head Dre. Get me? So they be that's the name. So if they're not receiving it, if they that's a bit harsh, it's cool. Because it's not meant to be harsh, it was just how we are, you get me? And then some people are a bit full on, and then some people are a bit mild with it, but I don't think they were ever racist at all.
I think that's key as well, because I think in Jamaican culture, they are very they just banter, innit? Like, my grandmother have friends called Coolie, well, not because he's Indian, innit?
Yeah.
Or African, you know what I'm saying?
1 foot, the man's got one foot.
Yeah, like,
he's got 1 foot and they call him 1 foot.
Indian.
Yeah.
Throwing it in his face, you get me?
Indian.
It's not personal.
I understand.
Chinaman.
A little off attention. So what you said at the beginning, did you mean institutionalised racism, same as?
Yeah, I do mean that, but I also mean the other side as well, because I don't actually see any racism. I've never seen a white guy get lynched. That's not racism, that's prejudice. That's prejudice, that's prejudice. That's prejudice, that's not racism.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think you see it online?
I see it bare online.
Right, cool. Right now, the
Seasoned, unseasoned.
You get me? It's not like it's not like 1 second. It's not like
tastism.
they're not getting strung up. They're not getting
Unseasoned
killed.
chicken. That's not
they're not
being racist.
they're not getting a job like what we're saying. But I'm just saying that black people are more bait about it, being more vocal in a way like, oh look at they don't have to cook or stupid white because they're white they don't know nothing. You know like that. If they commented on a drill tune, I'll shut your mouth.
Is he really racist to his baby mum, Steve-O the Madman?
No, we can't.
His own daughters are saying my mum can't cook. Is she being? What's she doing now?
Yeah, but he's doing it in the banter way. Whereas really, if it weren't banter and someone really, when a comedian was saying it, you'd be like, okay, he's saying it in a different way.
Back to what I was saying, it's how you receive it. So you might see banter as my banter might be a bit cold. So the next man's banter might be a bit more, you get me? And that's basically what it really is, man.
For me, it's about your intention, which you're never going to know anyway. If someone intends to say something to offend you or if they are joking. You can only judge on what you know of someone. Yeah. Racial banter, I think, is always going to exist. And the racial banter, I mean, talking about within the black community, when you're saying, you this or you're that, that's always going to happen anyway. I'm not saying that's okay, but it's going to happen. I feel like someone has if you've given someone the comfortability to say that to you and that doesn't offend you, carry on, as far as I'm concerned, you get it, because that's within your circle of friends or you're around people that feel you're comfortable, you're both comfortable enough to have that kind of racial banter, you get it. The racial banter, I think, is always going to go on, do you understand? The racism, what I mean is when things are being said about white people that you don't even know who they are, you don't have that comfort. But there's, for example, the cooking thing, for me, that's banter. Like I say, you never know someone's intention, but for me, that's banter. But when there's things being said, white this, white that, blah, 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 things are then being said in other languages as well that mean a white person, and that's going on and on and on and on. I don't feel like it's okay, because P.I. touched on something here, I think you both did. I don't feel like it's okay that because it's happened to us, that we should then be perpetrating what's happened to us. That's almost like, and I don't want to make it about religion, but you see what's happening to, slight example, and I know it's going to be an extreme. You see what's happening to the Palestinians, the way they're being treated by the Israelis. For me, they've forgotten what their past is, because they've forgotten the way Hitler treated them. And I know that's an extreme, but they're now treating the people. They're now treating the people the way they were treated.
We're still being treated like that.
I was gonna say it's not.
Hang
on, yeah, but that's not justification for us to perpetrate subtle racism to our fellow people that are within our community.
I'm not saying that it's okay.
I don't think it's okay. No, I'll close now. Yeah, No, that's on
Keep changing what you let me finish, let me close. You got different ways of saying it.
Bear wait, they can just keep going on, isn't it? Sick still.
It's a little trick.
Sick, fam. Yeah, trust me.
So, I lost my train of thought slightly. So, the example that I was going to give is, if when you see these comments, if they were directed towards black people, people of colour, you consider them. You would. So I'm saying that same standard that we hold to ourselves, stop us from being hypocrites. We should have that same, we should expect to give that respect to other people as well.
Maybe if slavery happened and then after that we was treated perfectly after all that, and we didn't have to see a black man get shot every single day, every week, then maybe. But if someone's got a chip on their shoulder, yeah, if that's what it looks like and that's what people think it is, then, you know, they keep getting treated fucked up, man. And so naturally, it's inhumane for you to be smiling all the time while you see fucked up shit on the TV. So if you say something about, yeah, that's food is unseasoned, I think, fucking hell, mate, if that's all you had to endure, you shouldn't really be crying about it, because that's all you have to endure. That person might have other challenges going on in his head, and you might want to really say some real other shit, but he ain't. But I actually see racism within the black community, because I've got people that are white within my family through birth or through marriage. Oh well, you know, shit, baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But freaking, you know what I mean? But so it's impossible, really. And then like other races and all that, and we're really like, I haven't really seen a black person, yeah, like that actually hates white people. You get me? Like, or even if he hates what they may have done or the idea of evil white people, he would still have a white friend and he would talk to him. He'd be open about what he dislikes about someone. Whereas if there's a white racist person, he might have that a bit more secret inside him, and you wouldn't really know the intentions. Or Asian for that, Chinese or whatever. I think black people kind of wear their shit on their sleeves. So if they're saying stuff about the seasoned food, I don't really see them saying anything that's unfair to white people. I don't see them like not giving someone a job because he's white. Because if you've got the skills, best believe I want you to work for me. I don't give a fuck what colour you are. I want my business to run. You get me? It's not that. Whereas a white person might favour, or this is my prejudice now, I might think a white person might favour, but that is through experience in life. And that's through, I was growing up, I was taught, yeah, you got to talk like this if you want to get a job. You got to do this, don't do that. Black person, you have to work twice as hard. You get all of these things in your head already. So already you're walking out the street with a mask on, pretending to be someone that you're not truly. So every now and then, if the real shit of you comes out, then I don't think it's prejudice at all. Because if you go to Africa, you go to Jamaica, you go to all these places, where they got white Jesuses in the churches. They're praying to the Most High in a white man's version. And we all know what the real is. But then if you go to England, I've never seen no black Jesus in no church. I've never seen none in Russia. I've never seen none in America. Well, you know, shit. Nobody like the deep south.
Yeah, but what I haven't seen personally. What relevance does that have to do with the? It sounds like you're making it acceptable. It sounds like what you're saying is, because we've experienced that in the past, that it's okay for us to be doing this today, or maybe what we're doing today.
What though? What are we actually doing?
But are you genuinely telling me you haven't seen comments?
It's race banter, what you were saying. That same stuff that you do, that you see on the website. Are you black? Are you fucking white? It's not personal. It's just race banter. Don't we have that? You would have that.
Your racial banter must be
with people. Like I race back with my mixed race nephew, and he will race back at
no, that part I get it. That part, because like I said, you're in a surrounding people you're comfortable with. So then that racial banter kind of flows because you've got that comfort. But I'm saying, when you look under the comments on a photo, or the meme or whatever's on the Instagram,
it's probably coming from an account with 0 posts. So we can't even hold that person accountable because his account ain't really his. Yeah, Steve O the Madman says it to his missus and his daughter say it back.
Why? It's just a joke.
Yeah, but just because he says it don't mean it's right.
But it's the truth though. It's a description.
Let me show you something right now. One second, let me show you something right now. My dad is black. Yeah? My mum is white, half Asian. I've got black cousins, white cousins, Asian cousins. Yeah? first cousins, all three. So no one can't, no.
There's black guys that have been the black sheep going, like the film Get Out. So like you're going the film Get Out. But the reason why the film was so popping because a black man 1,000 times has been in that situation where he's like, alright, cool.
Look at Kanye. It's like Kanye's life story. I feel like Get Out. Don't you feel like?
Yeah, like Kanye, yeah. Yeah, Kanye is like Get Out.
Be real. Kanye has he's deteriorated very, very badly since he married that woman.
But I mean, listen.
The right woman would be able to. Yeah, his mum died, but the right woman would be able to help and nurture him.
What? The what? Mum died?
The right woman would be able to help and nurture him. Obviously, she wasn't able to do that.
What do you think women are? Super women? No woman can't nurture me and my mum died. You mad?
Obviously, you lost. Tasting the women is next, isn't it?
Nah.
You don't know my taste. You don't know my taste.
Bro.
You don't know my taste.
Yeah, cook.
Let me ask another question.
Go on.
Are we falling into hypocrisy because we're forgetting part of our well-documented history, part of our well-documented history? Does it make us hypocrites? The example I gave you before when I was saying about the way the Palestinians are being treated by the Israelis now, I feel like the Israelis have forgotten their history because they were treated the same way, a similar way, I can't say exactly the same, but they was oppressed by Nazi Germany. Yeah. So are we now just subtly becoming hypocrites because we're allowing these comments and just think to yourself, it's a joke, it's all right, it's minor.
Hypocrites or conformists?
I mean, both. Are we becoming hypocrites and conformists because we're now saying, it's a joke, is it not?
Just because saying it's a joke and saying these banter ways don't mean it's right what you're saying. You understand? It don't mean it's right, fam. Because watch this, on all these pages, if there was a group of white boys making jokes about black boys, yeah, or black girls on this thing.
But they do all the time.
Do you know what though? You know what?
Don't say that.
You shouldn't even subscribe to all of them shits.
1 second, that's them pages. Like if you see that sort of thing, they ain't gonna last very long. I'm talking about you see it on big pages. Big pages. Let a white person say whether he gets shut down by about 20 black people straight away. Yeah. You understand? Like, who the fuck are you?
I feel
who
like
gets shut down?
I feel like I'm on the same page as you. I feel like our justification for it is it's always, but people say, we can't be racist if you understand racism. I'm not talking about on the institution level. Of course, it's different. Yeah, but I'm talking about this now being accepted because it's just a joke. It's just a joke. And the thing about laughing about, so don't get me wrong, if you've got that comfortability with someone cool, the thing about laughing about something that if it was said to you wouldn't be a joke, that's when hypocrisy comes into it. Do you get it? And I feel like we I say as a people of colour, we're just kind of saying, can say that's all right, I can read that, not think nothing of it, it doesn't touch you. You get it the same way it would touch you if it was said about someone of the same colour as you. That's what I feel like we fall into slowly. And like I said, you might be able to go online, read a comment, put the phone down, and it's nothing to you.
I think it's
but there's also, it can't be everyone that's white is on these pages that have got black people and it's like unseasoned. It's like, cool. To get it, it's like, boom,
So
I mean, to get it.
But you see a white girl that can cook, you go to the house, you can cook, what are you going to say? You're going to shock to it. Like, yo, shit.
No.
You can cook the fucking, can we go and say, yo, this was a keeper, yo, shit.
No, man, look at this.
I know bare white girls that can cook.
All right, cool. But that would be the reaction, yeah, for a normal black man, yeah? Let's be real, blood. That would be the reaction. You'd be like, oh, she can cook. So why is it a surprise? Why is it all a surprise now that she can cook? Because our taste buds are different to every other nation's. I will go to an Indian man right now. Come to my yard. Come eat my curry chicken. No, this don't taste like my one. You get me? It don't taste like his one. It's just preference. It's not personal, bro. It's not a deep thing, fam. Sorry.
It ain't all about that. It ain't all about
watch it.
Pabs,
why are you picking these topics, then?
Pabs, watch this. It ain't even all about food. Watch this. This how you know. Watch this. You see a rapper the other day. Let's not talk about no names. A rapper the other day. He got caught. His face mask was off. Yeah? Okay. Because he didn't have a valley on or whatever. Yeah. So because he's not black, he can't be a drill rapper. He's not bad. He ain't been through nothing. Now he's a boss man. Are you right, boss? You understand?
Is that what people were saying?
Yes.
I thought they was...
said. That's what I said.
Innit?
Do you see that online?
I didn't even see that on yours. See what I'm saying though? People are posting a picture of him.
Boss man in the
People are
kebab
posting a
shop, so
picture of
is
a
that
kebab
racist?
thing.
All right, let's talk this out. Did I say something racist in saying that? I said, oh, raw, M. Honcho looks like the boss man from the kebab shop. Did I say anything about race or anything? Like, but is that...
See, that went viral then, because our sons see that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Honcho, don't come for me, man.
Using the N-word in his raps and he's not black. That was what I saw.
That's what.
So what colour is he?
That was the thing.
He's. I don't know, but he's
Arab.
Arab in it. But
It's Arab.
them youths are on job. If I see an Arab, I'm not gonna be like he's not gonna be on job because I know that. Like,
On job like what? What do
just
you mean?
in life in general, anyway. Like if he's bad or not. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
you know, I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't call him a boss man.
No, but what I mean by boss man,
Yeah,
I mean
it's
like
happening.
it was
You mean
like,
he's the worst in kebab shop, that's what you mean, right?
yeah, I just thought,
Yeah.
he was boss man.
Yeah,
yeah.
You went a boss man. Don't
Yeah, yeah.
You went a boss man.
Yeah, I did do that.
Donna, give me a Donna. Give me a Donna. That's what you meant.
I didn't mean no. I didn't mean no. I didn't mean that.
You know, Turkish like Arabs that ain't like.
No, but I'm from the part of North London where it's bare, like,
Exactly.
you get me? So it's like,
You
it's
should
all
know
love.
them.
Turkish man are saying the N-words. Turkish man are saying Wagwan. They, you know what, being black as a culture, like, a lot of people have taken it. So, you know what, take the cussing as well, because we're cussing each other, bro. You're taking all of this from, why you take the cussing too? Because I'm cussing, I'm calling my man Blackie over there. So why can't I call you Whitey? Why? I'm calling my own kind of a derogatory name. And we've got our own issues that we've got to sort out. We've still got to sort out the Jamaican and the Caribbean beef that we got. So, we're going to deal with, still got our own shit we need to deal with, and we're going through trauma, and we're actually overcoming it right now. That's why you've seen a lot of black excellence, black pages. All right, cool, we're going to get to that part where the racial slurs are, but really, that's the last on the list of what we've really got to fix up. We've got so much stuff that we're doing with our own community. Self-killing, and all of that, all this Rambo, this, everything. Yeah, we're doing a lot of bare self-hatred within our own kind. Yeah. How can we notice, if we are doing it, say you are right, how can we notice it? Because we're doing it within. It's very hard for us to see it. So if anything, it's like we need to sort out racism from within our own cultures. Because we're calling each other light skin this,
100%.
dark skin, like, we have a big divide within our own team.
You're African, you're Jamaican.
You're Jamaican.
You get me?
That.
Yeah, come on. Girl who was like, I'm not dark skinned, and there was a big thing. Did you not see it? Dark skinned girl, and she was, and people was like, oh, you're dark skinned, you're beautiful dark skinned girl. She's like, I'm not dark skinned. I've never been called dark. Like going on a mad thing.
So we've got our own things that we need to sort out within our own.
Exactly,
like,
but that's why it is. That's what I'm trying to say. So where we've got our own problems, like here, we're giving it out in the worst way that we know possible. You get what I'm trying to say? By being bait about it, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I would agree to. That, but I don't say, but because the racism is within, if that's what we're going to classify it as, then, you know what I mean? Like, we're just...
You have to be realistic.
Remember, white people are mad racist, you know. Not all white.
Come back to you.
Not all white, but white people are mad racist. You know this is why we have all these things in the first place. Asian people, they hate black people, bro. That's the truth of it. They hate, yes, they only, come on, I've got Asian cousins and Asian bridgings and whatnot, and I know they don't like black people.
But not even
that's
in
a
that
fact.
situation. Like, I went in the bank one time as an Asian woman, I just wanted to put, not even a lot of money, I think it was maybe, I don't want to say, but anyway, it wasn't a lot of money. And the man's all moving mad, calling his manager, asking where the money's come from.
Yeah.
The rare tete.
So,
and I said, why?
It's not all of them.
Yeah, but they in those situations are more racist.
Yeah.
I've been to the bank where
Scared of black people.
yeah, the white women will never ever ask me where's the money coming from. But the Asian wants to now say where's the money coming from.
So the Asians and the whites will bait about it. We'll bait about it how many years ago? Do you get what I'm saying? They were bait about it how many years ago? You understand? So they were bait about it how many years ago? Now it's switched around. The black people are being bait about it, but the white and the Asians are still racist. They just know how to keep it on the down low now. We won't give him the job. We won't give him the job. We won't consign him this. We won't give him this on da-da-da. You understand? We'll keep it to ourselves because them lot are blacklisted. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Where we just bait about it now. We're not in their world yet where we can blacklist them.
I think
give them the job.
That's what you said in the first instant.
You understand?
Power.
Yeah, so we're being bait about it to show, you get what I'm trying to say?
That the power shift is happening now, it's slowly. So we'll slowly start to get more power in media where we probably never had it before. This was black Twitter shit. Now this is more or less out there, and now we have to be... God damn, man, shit.
Yeah, this is. Why have we got that on camera?
Why have
fam?
we got the cameraman?
This
on
time the
camera?
cameraman just broke through the stool, fell through the floor. Mad thing. That was sick.
Who's getting heated on this discussion?
Yeah.
He wanted to speak. But yeah, maybe.
Putting on weight, bro. Hey, lockdown pants.
Yeah, maybe we rolling still. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the power shift may be happening. We're not being and we're not realizing.
Not being smart about it. Furthermore.
Yeah.
What we're doing is, whenever I pose the question, it always feels like the comebacks are, well, they done it, or they're doing it, or they. Well, I'm not talking to you about what they've done. I'm talking to you about it is a natural. That's a natural psychological reaction. It's to say, well, you've done that to me, I'm going to do it back, or you've done that to me, but they've done it then. That's not dealing with what's in front of us. You get it? That's not dealing with what I see, and that's why I'm trying to address it. You get it? I'm saying it exists, but all I feel like we're doing is like justifying it. And the problem is when you justify things, they continue. For as far as I'm concerned, I don't make those sort of comments. I mean, I'm not asking you to like give me like.
Now, the question is, what do you feel white people feel like when those comments are being made?
Same as a black person would feel.
100%.
100%.
I've got white cousins that are black, man. You get what I'm trying to say? So I can tell them, yo, what do you think? There's that blood fucked, you know? How they think about it. And my cousins they can't be racist, can they? They got black cousins, black uncles. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So they tell my blood is fucked, you know? The way they think about all white people are like this, can't cook. Nuggets and smiley faces and you know what I'm trying to say? You just think, bro,
But it's just,
we can't be gang, we can't rap, we're not allowed to do this and
it ain't white.
Come on.
At all. So I definitely think that the way you feel about something, the way you would read something, if that was about you, the way it would affect you, you shouldn't be making those sort of comments. You get it? And if you can't handle seeing that, don't look. Do you understand? But I don't ever think there should be justification for it. It should never be, because they spoke to us like that. People go, that's slavery and that kind of thing. I'm not going to deny it happened. Of course it happened. Yeah, we've been taught about it for how long? Like I said, I say it all the time and I'll say it again. It's a very small part of black history.
But they're making
it's a wide part. There was the Arab slave trade, then there was the Christians. So it was wide, it was long, and the Arab slave trade started early. Hey, just say it, my baby. Just say it, baby. Just say it.
If you want to, when I say it's a very small part of our history, if you want to include Aboriginal history, then Southeast Asian history, African history, and if you want to go as far as then to include Native American history, because we know as fact their tribes are black as well. Some of them are Asian, some of them are black as well. We know that as a right fact. All that history, and they're saying that's about slavery from Africa for 400 years. It's a very small part of world history. You get it? Yeah. That's what I mean. I say that. Yeah. So going back to what I was trying to say is what we deal with internally as nationalism, Jamaica invasion, blah, blah, blah. That's our own thing, and that's always got to go on. Same way within what I've seen as I've growing up alongside white English, white Irish, white Scottish, white Welsh. They have their little things, taffy this, paddy that, blah, blah, whatever. So there's always going to be a little kind of, within their colour, they have this kind of little, like, same as their own racial banner. Yeah, and we've witnessed that as well, to get it. Similarly, you have the banter between Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, Gujaratis. They have their own little banter as well. So that's always going to go on. What I'm talking about is not banter, because you don't know these people. So when you're sitting there, and I'm not saying it, even if you want to expand on that and say towards white people, but towards black towards Asian, or black towards this, or black towards that, whatever it is, it's like I said, and I'm saying, and I'm repeating myself, it should never be justification, because it's there and it exists. So the white person that then sees that, when they go onto, like, say, Board News' page, and someone's cooked a meal and it's unseasoned, we can see it's unseasoned, it's funny, blah, 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 whatever else. But when you're referring to the colour of people's skin, and now you're now calling them unseasoned, you're now being racist. That's what that is.
So what if a mixed race person done that? What if it was a mixed race person, half white, half black? What is he actually being if he says that?
I'll answer that. Well, from my outside view, I'll try and answer that. But that white person that sees that, we can't know what that feels like, but we can as well because we've experienced it. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying. It's not okay. That's not okay.
You're being really unrealistic.
I don't think it. But only until PI said that, I didn't know that it was like people were like actually saying, no, that's fucked up. I don't think. I just thought that they would see it and they just think the same thing I would say.
That's because you know why? Because you're black.
Yeah.
You understand?
Straight. Yeah.
I class myself as black.
Yeah.
Even though I'm mixed race, I class myself as black because I've never had a black person be racist to me. You understand?
Yeah,
I've had white people be racist to me because they just look at me and think you're black.
Yeah.
You understand? But I've got white cousins. And these ain't the white cousins that you'd be like, okay, he works in an office, black person will come to him and say, oh, he ain't getting a job. Like, come, bro, you're working with me. You get what I'm trying to say?
But that's a very small majority of white people. That is a very
that's a small majority. It's a minority because that's what you think it's a minority.
No, it is a minority.
All right, cool. How many white people do you know out on the roads right now? Because forget all in the countrysides and all that. Round about where we live in London, think they're black.
Because it's like you're not educated. Like,
How many white people think they're black?
Yeah.
What if you're? I know. Let's be real.
How many people in London, white youths, round man, actually move like they're black youths?
A lot.
A lot of them, right?
A lot.
You understand?
Yeah, a lot. In London, though, but you know what? London.
Yes, I said in London.
Yeah,
I'm
London,
saying you in
Manchester,
person.
Liverpool.
She can't tell any figures about in the village because she don't know what's going on in the village.
What do you mean in the village?
You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about in London. You're from London.
Yeah, I am from
So talk about what was going on in London
Yeah,
then.
but that is the truth though. When you say act like black people, what do you mean? I would say that's urban culture. You don't want to take it and say, oh, are they acting black? They're not. I know white youths, they will go with they're with white women, they have white kids, they're very, very like cockney, whatever.
See those ones that are within our culture.
Okay, keep that.
The ones that are within our culture.
They see them driving whips, like they're not trying to be black. They're just, you know what I'm saying? They're just being themselves. They're around black people and they're cool with black people, yeah, but they're not trying to be black.
That's true. I mean, I like that. But
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so if these white youths go and cook curry goat and rice and peas, don't be taking the piss out of them then, because it's the culture. Do you understand?
Agreed.
If that's the case, don't not unseasoned. Now it's your choice to be unseasoned because they can't cook. Because when they got their low backs on and saying wagwan, it's cool because it's culture.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't come with that.
But who cusses white people for being able to cook? That's a credit, like right? You can actually like.
I think man are cussing the English culture. Man are cussing Georgian, the dragon culture and all of that, like Toby Carvery culture, and that's what man are cussing. that. So I think. That's what it is, yeah, but at the same time, I would go Toby Carvery though. But I would go Toby Carvery. I would want that type of food at one point. That's what they're saying unseasoned is, the Toby Carvery thing. It's not personal. It's just saying, yeah, it's Toby Carvery thing, but I would go Toby Carvery I would fancy a roast. There was at one time in my life where I was in Toby Carvery, yeah, Buckers Till, like every Sunday with my kids. You get me? I was there. It was there. I cook all the. You can get into all of that, but I figure, yeah, I was there. I was there. You get me? So it wasn't. Get me? I didn't have no hot sauce in my back pocket. I was eating it like it was. All I had was the black pepper sachets, and you get me? That was me. You get me? But so I don't think it's personal until P just told me now. You get me? I didn't think it was personal.
Which part?
I don't have no feedback on like the unseasoned chicken stuff like that. I never thought it was personal. I thought they were laughing as well.
Do you not see
I thought they were laughing with it as well.
Are you telling me you don't see any racist comments towards white people online?
But I see the same shit as Kevin Hart. That's what I see. When I see that stuff,
there's
I see
memes
Kevin Hart
about these things now, bro.
saying it. I see when I see that sort of stuff, I just see it. The racial
whatever it is,
give or take, yeah. I see it like Kevin Hart saying it.
Yeah,
I see it
because
like
it's a
Chris
big
Rock
thing.
saying it.
Yeah, because it's a big thing in America. You understand?
So in England,
Racism's a big
it's
thing in
different.
America.
It's a business.
different.
But you know what? Even if someone was to stop it, it would still be going on because, like you said, it's a business. This racism thing is a business, and us even talking about it is perpetuating the will non-stop. It's just a business, bro.
Yeah, but I feel like
we stop it right now. Me and you all stop it. If I'm a culprit in it, if you was a culprit, if we was all culprits in it, we stop it now. It's still gonna be going on for 100 years.
I'm saying it ain't gonna stop.
So what's the point?
Apply that.
Get stuck in, baby.
I'm saying
You don't need to lighten up, man. Have a drink, man.
Like,
shit.
One of the questions is, does it even matter? Yeah, I'll pose that question. Does it even matter? All I'm saying, one second, I just hold that thought.
It's mad because my nephew is mixed race and he grew up with solely us. Yeah, solely us. Like he didn't even go out with his white side at all. He doesn't, and he's the light skin. Like he's like, you get me? Sorry, mate. I'm cutting you in there. Yeah. All right, cool.
It's fine anyway.
All right, I thought it's a Cockney Black show. Sorry.
Ultimately,
The question is, everything you've said, would you be comfortable if the roles were reversed?
But the roles are reversed.
I think it depends on the person, you know, because it's like everyone's different, innit? Everyone's got different.
If you're sitting saying that's okay, would you be comfortable sitting here watching a white dude say, yeah, that racism is okay to black people? Yeah, that's okay.
Are you mad or something? No, but are you actually mad though? No, but are you actually mad though? Because it happens all the time. You spoke for time. Anyway, are you mad? No. And even you was talking about slavery and all of them things there from time ago. At the end of the day.
Then he was talking, and I was quiet, and I just started. He said I was talking the whole time I weren't.
Are you done? Anyway, you're talking about slavery and all of this stuff, yeah? That's so far, that's far back. It's a small part of our history, yeah? Look at civil rights, civil liberties, all of that stuff that happened in the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, the 90s. That's very close to our history. And when you start to, as a black person, educate yourself, you read about all of this stuff, it's natural to be angry. It's natural to be angry. It's the trauma. And even if you read, I've read Asata, I've read Malcolm X, do you know what I'm saying? I've read about the slave trade, Christopher Columbus, all that shit. And you should actually go and read it. Because you're talking about slave trade.
Because I haven't read about it.
You're talking about slave trade as a small part of our history. It's a small part of history, yes, but it's not the only part of the history that signifies racism or where black people have been oppressed. All that work in the 60s and 70s, 80s and 90s, your parents, my parents, our grandparents, this is stuff that will affect us probably for another 50 years. People are angry. I'm vexed even talking now because it's just like, how can you be so narrow-minded and you're sitting up here talking about slave trade, it's a small part. You need to go and read because it's just like, at the end of the day, you're holding yourself back by not understanding. You're saying, oh, it's a justification. It's not just a justification. It's a natural response.
I think it's a demographic issue as well, yeah?
I think it's
whoa. I need to...
All right, Courtney, do you think, baby boy?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Oh, sorry.
See, I say it a lot. See, brainwash, yeah? Brainwash comes to us from a lot of different angles. And every angle of brainwash, I call them layers. Understand? Who has told you, and why do you believe that you will be traumatic for years?
I feel it.
It's not a telling, it's an experience.
A therapist.
You said you read X. You're experiencing X. So why am I not as angry as you? Because I haven't read?
Demographic, all right.
1 minute.
And let me just finish my...
Bro, man, every week.
It's the same thing, man. Get used to being interrupted then. No, because I haven't interrupted all. And people say, yo, PABS, you need to talk more. You know, Cockney, man, you talk too much, man. It's the truth. That's what they say in the comments. You know? That's what they're saying, bro. I'm keeping it real with you. They ain't gonna tell you to your face. I'm one of the real ones.
I'll make a statement, yeah.
Am I lying?
I'm sitting back, fam. I've said too much, I think.
No. I get what you're...
So rather than me say something and then you say to me, what do you mean? I'll just explain it. But if you want to go back a step, then we can do that. No problem. You ain't ready enough.
I haven't read enough.
Yeah. Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, go.
Oh, thanks.
I don't even
Yeah. Rather than do that, I'll just explain. I mean, do you get it? Yeah. This is what I'm saying. The history that...
I told you.
The history that is constantly given to us, Black History Month. Yeah? Black History Month is who, think to yourself, the overseers of our education system, they're not black. Think about that.
Black history.
Think about who is telling you February, you've got 28 days, here's Black history. They're not black people telling you that.
But what's that got to do with it?
The overseers of publishing, are they black people? Because you were sitting here talking about racism, the power structure of racism. Do you think these overseers that are looking, when the books come in and they go, right, what we're going to release, what we're going to let the black people have, the white, do you think the books that these people release, they're thinking to themselves the best about black history? The best of the kings, the queens, the engineers, the architects, the richness. I'm not telling you that. They're giving you books to make you angry. to make you perpetuate racism.
100%.
I understand everything you're saying.
I agree with you.
I agree with everything you're saying.
I agree.
Books to you to feel
Empowered. They're not giving you books to make you think to yourself, hang on a minute, black slavery is a fucking blip in the ocean. It's a drop in the ocean of black history. But until you learn, listen, Aborigines, yeah? You know what a boomerang is? A boomerang. It's a bit of wood bent like a V.
The threat comes back to you.
They throw that shit, it comes back to them, bro. You might think yourself, that's minor. You try doing that. You use minor. The engineering in you sitting down, because you're laughing, because you don't understand. Because for you, you might think, okay, sorry, I may have misconstrued while you were laughing. I'm only saying that. I'm saying the engineering of that, for someone to sit down, get a bit of wood, make it go a certain shape, carve it a certain way, throw it in the air, and it does a whole 360 and comes back to you. You think it's minor. These Aborigines also use these things for hunting and war.
Who said it's minor?
No, I'm saying black history is a drop in the ocean. These people, just talking about the Aborigines, before we come back and talk about pyramids, which everyone knows about, the rich history of it, we don't talk about what empowers us, what doesn't make you angry, what lifts you. We don't talk about that. It's always about, we were hurt.
And you got a point.
We were hurt, I'm going to hurt you.
You got a point, because every movie...
You're made to feel angry.
Correct, exactly. Everything you're saying is wrong.
I'm adding to what you're saying. I'm adding to what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up because I talk too much shit.
I like your talking today still. It's all right today. Usually it's shit, but today's proper, man. Today's proper, fam.
They don't talk to you about stuff that will lift you out of your seat. They talk to you about stuff that's going to keep you mentally angry. That's what they want. They want you to think, if I'm the overseer and I'm seeing black and white people get on, I'm seeing them love, make children, families carry on. If I see their communities joining, I can't control them. I need the blacks fighting the whites fighting the Asians against them. We've got to perpetuate. So someone has to be the butt of the jokes. Unfortunately, it's black history. So they've gone, black people, we'll make them look bad. All over the world, black people have made technological advances. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And you see it, but you don't learn the history of it. That's why it doesn't empower you. You're learning about Rosa Parks at the back of the bus. And she wasn't even the first person. She wasn't the first person. They just chose her to begin a movement. You have to understand that overseas, you don't even know they fucking are. You don't see these people sitting down in rooms, making plans, knowing how to manipulate societies and structures. You don't see that. You think you just picked up a book. Oh my God, I know so much about that history.
I didn't say that. I need to learn a lot more.
I'm only saying, that's why when I say black slavery, and also Arab slavery, is a drop in the ocean of black history. Arab history is worldwide. All over this planet. You get it?
I don't disagree with it.
So why do you try and say things that...
I didn't say that. I said you are trying to say that the slave trade is insignificant. Insignificant.
I think where you grow up,
It's still, but it's not insignificant. And I think it's important to know both sides, the worldwide history and the stuff that makes you angry, because through that, that's where the fire... I'm not that angry though. I've got white brethren.
But she's angry from seeing the stuff that she sees every day on the net.
When the Jamaicans came to London and how they was treated. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm angry about.
Yeah. That's naturally going to make you feel...
If you care about human beings the way you care about yourself, human beings, yeah?
So the Windrush scandal didn't make you angry or make you upset? It makes people upset. That's a natural...
me. That drives me.
So that's what she's saying. She's got the Windrush beef, got the Windrush anger in her. Like, that's what she's saying, man. You say why she's angry?
Let me just tell you a quick story about my aunt. Very, very quick. She came here as a nurse. So did my nan, yeah?
Hey, guess what? Back to
That's why we're all here.
My nan, grandaunt, in a hospital,
Woman's on her deathbed, very sick, she needs an injection. My grandaunt's the head nurse, yeah? And so she has to authorise the injection. Understand? Because of what's in it. She's gone there with the syringe ready to inject her. Woman plucks up the strength to spit on my nan. You ain't touching me, blah, 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 you're blah, 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 blah. My grandma said to her, look, you take it or you die. It's quite simple. You get it? Now imagine the hate she's had to endure. She's now in her 80s, late 70s, 80s now. Imagine the hate. When someone you love tells you those stories, it touches you, believe me.
Of course.
You understand? So you can't tell me I don't know about this, I don't know about that. I know. Trust me, I know. Not from experience with firsthand, but from people I love telling me the story. And I can tell you 100 stories like that, dozens from my uncles fighting Forest Gate, having scraps with white men. Understand? Yeah, so that stuff, I can tell you their stories of what goes on, fighting police, grouping together. I can tell you all sorts of stories, like my uncle, whatever. All I'm saying is, I know about that part of the history in this country. I've done the research on Malcolm X. I've done the research on Rosa Parks, and she wasn't even the first. I've done that research. I don't know everything about all the black stories. I don't. But I'm not. All I'm saying is, if you're going to have that kind of, what's that?
That's civil rights history. That's not.
Yeah, it's still race. There's still racism within it. I know you're going right.
Yeah.
I understand that.
What do you mean, like taught in the curriculum? That's within the curriculum,
No,
black history.
Question: why is it if, well, we see black girls wearing that weave and that hair is European? So why is it if a white person has cornrow? That's a problem.
We had weave in the Egyptian times.
I'll tell you why.
We had weave in the Egyptian times.
No, because when black people wear cane rolls and dreads and shit to the workplace, they're told to take it out because it's not standard. So when white people then go do it and then they get applauded for the same hairstyle that black people get shunned for, that's the problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't agree.
I was just about to say.
I don't agree with what
Took the words out of my mouth.
That's the answer to your question.
That's your
That's my opinion too. That's my spirit animal.
And to be honest, it's not like, me personally, I don't really care if a white girl's got camos or something, like, it's not that deep. And also, a lot of my white brethren wear microlinks, extensions, red tetas. It's just like everybody, all girls.
Yeah, I hear that now they do. Now, watch this, Cockney, now they do. But if you see a white girl walk down the road, yeah, with cane roll in her hair, the first thing a black you looks at and thinks, oh, she thinks he's black, man. 100%.
All right, but all right, cool. Let's talk about this thinking black.
Yes or no? I can ask every man here, and that's what he's saying.
No, it's right. But thinking that you're black, thinking that you're white, those are just some bullshit terms. When a guy speaks well, he's white. He talks white. Why? Because you're talking with intelligence. You're talking like you got your words right. So it's the same thing. Like it's black because you got because that whole edge is just under one umbrella of being black. I think we look too deeper into it. I think we're looking. I think what's happening right there is what they want to happen. Yeah, this ain't really supposed to be a thing. It's just a description of a meal, a description of someone. Yeah, and they're like sound bites because they bring you back somewhere to trauma. Well, what are you saying? We calling black this? No, you're black. That's a description of you. We care too much and we invest too much in these things, man, and it's not really that deep. You know what I mean? Like,
that was the question. Is it even important?
It's not really because, like, I can live in.
Just to close, one last question. Just tell me, just a yes or no. It's just a yes or no, so we can wrap the show up. If you see 5 white women, 4 of those white women have got Afro wigs, what do you think? Okay or not okay?
Who's got it?
I don't think nothing of it. I don't think nothing of it.
Where the fuck they go?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think nothing of it, man.
I'll be looking at where the fuck they go.
That's strange though, like you wouldn't see a group.
They're all wearing Afro wigs. They probably go to a 60s party.
I'll be like, where they go?
They got flares on too.
4 of them are wearing weaves and they're all straight, European hair. You take it as normal.
You've took the question, but shouldn't the question be like about online black?
Nah, but you know what? That's once again. If you think that if you think the outlook of someone is,
It's wrapped.
Yeah.
End of the convo.
Like,
How about we go to the